Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Dumbbell RDL, which is basically the Romanian Deadlift. It's an incredible exercise for your hamstrings. We're also going to be taking a neutral grip here with our hand position. I find that this is the most comfortable for most people. At the end of the video, by the way, we're also going to be talking about some of the common mistakes that you want to avoid. So just make sure to stick around for that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is stand right inside shoulder width. Make sure that your chin is tucked and that your arms are nice and tight to your sides. Another thing you want to make sure is that you're keeping your back straight. So you don't want to be rounding at the lower back. You want to make sure that your back is as straight as possible. That way, a lot of that tension goes on the hamstrings instead of your lower back. But before we continue with more tips, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
Now, this is a key point with doing the vast majority of deadlifts, and this one included. So what you want to make sure you're thinking about as you're lowering the weight is not necessarily just going down. You want to think about pushing the butt back and actually arching the lower back. You want to create an anterior pelvic tilt as you're going down. So what that means is basically you want to tilt your hips forward. I hope I'm explaining that well, but you basically want to push the butt back and then arch your lower back. That's the simplest way to explain it. Arch your lower back as you're going down. Trust me, you're going to feel a way better stretch on your hamstrings if you do that instead of just thinking about going down. Just going down. You don't want to do that. You want to arch the lower back as much as you can. Some people's hamstrings are tighter than others, and obviously you can work on that. But from wherever you're starting from, if you're a beginner or advanced, arch your lower back as you're going down, trust me. And then as you're going up, obviously, you want to make sure that you're squeezing your glutes. So you need to create a posterior pelvic tilt. So you need to squeeze the butt under you, basically, as you're coming up. Or as you're coming up at the top. But as you're going down, arch lower back. Trust me, just trust me on that. Just try it and you'll see what I mean. Another thing you want to make sure you're doing is keeping your chin tucked. What I usually see a lot of people do when they're deadlifting is they start to look up. And I get it, you're going up, so you want to look up, so it's going to help, but it's also more dangerous. So I highly recommend that you just keep your chin tucked. Is it going to happen sometimes? Sure, whatever. But make sure that you build the habit of not doing that. That way you can prevent yourself from getting injured. And I've never been injured in training. I've been training for 6 years already. So personally, so in specific weight training. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. That way you can train longer and you don't get injured. Another thing you want to make sure you're doing is keeping your arms straight and slightly bending at the knees, not excessively. But here's some common mistakes I want you guys to avoid. Limited range of motion. Don't do this. It doesn't matter if you can lift more. Just go all the way down and all the way up. Also, make sure that you're not staying at the bottom. Like I said, go all the way up and really squeeze the glutes at the top. Then you also want to make sure that you keep your chin tucked. Don't look up like that. Even if it makes it seem like you can lift more, it's more dangerous. Another thing is to make sure, like I said, keep your arms straight. Don't bend your arms like this, because as you start getting heavier, all the weight's just going to go in your arms and your lower back. Another common mistake is bending at the knees too much. So this is not good. Obviously, you're not going to feel this as much in your hamstrings. Actually, you're barely going to feel it in your hamstrings. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're not rounding your back. So don't round your lower or upper back. Again, arch that lower back as you're going down, and then squeeze your glutes as you're going up, and keep your chest and back straight.